Hi, this is Magda from Interior Exterior. In this episode, we'll tour a 100 square meter house filled with old furniture and family keepsakes.
Hi, I'm Asia, and I invite you to take a look at my home. This is a terraced house, a so-called segment, which my husband, daughter, and I moved into almost 13 years ago. Before that, we lived in a small two-room apartment in a block, which was, of course, too cramped for us, so we started looking for something bigger. A quick market analysis showed that for the price of a three-room apartment in a peripheral district of Warsaw, we could get a segment house outside of Warsaw, so our choice was clear. We went for the segment. When choosing this particular property, we were guided by several criteria. Apart from the obvious ones like floor area, room layout, and location, we also considered other criteria such as orientation to the cardinal directions, connection to the sewage system, and the possibility of building a fireplace. Additionally, we were able to participate in this investment from the very beginning, which gave us the opportunity to make small changes to the original design that were taken into account by our developer. After all these years of living here, we can say that it was a very good decision to choose a townhouse, which is something between an apartment and a house. I'm not ready for a house. Working in the garden, especially a bigger one, is not my favorite hobby. However, this small but private garden in the townhouse is more than enough for us and gives us a chance to relax.
We start as usual at the door, only this time from the outside. And here I would like to show you the mosquito net, because they have been installed on all the windows in this house, and thanks to that, you can air out the rooms without the risk of mosquitoes. A multifunctional coat rack is in the vestibule near the entrance. See, it's not just hooks for jackets, but also lower hooks, either for children or for a handbag or umbrella. There is a shelf above. Here is a mirror, a seat at the bottom, and under the seat there's also a container for things. One piece of furniture and so many functions. Really great. The slant above me is not accidental. There are stairs in this spot, which is why the space underneath was used to create a utility storage area. In the original building plan, the vestibule was supposed to be bigger. There was supposed to be a wall here. The stairs would have been more covered, and as you can see, that was changed. And the second change, a floor was added up there so that the passageway upstairs would be more comfortable. The kitchen is in a retro style, so the appliances were chosen to match it. And since they couldn't find a microwave that matched, it was hidden in a cabinet. There are napkins on the shelves in the display cabinet. And it's exactly these kinds of details, which might seem insignificant, that influence the style of our interiors. On this side of the kitchen, there's a shelf where my grandmother's plates are displayed. Next to it, there are pictures, souvenirs from travels, and notice that even though they're from different places, together they create a cohesive collection. Buying souvenirs according to a certain key can be a good strategy. According to the developer's plans, the bathroom on the ground floor was supposed to be just a toilet, but they still managed to fit in a spacious shower. There's a nook with a stove and shelves here. However, there's no way to put a front here, because the toilet is too close, and the front wouldn't be able to open. But so that these things aren't out in the open, something else was installed. I'll show you now. Simple, quick, and convenient. A wooden table was placed between the kitchen and the living room, and it has an extension mechanism underneath. It has two hidden extra leaves, which allow us to extend it and comfortably host more people. For the largest family gatherings, another table is added. The sofa is placed under the window, and that way everyone fits. It's wonderful. When our homes are so flexible that they can adapt to different life circumstances. The living room's main decoration is this beautiful fireplace. Look at these wonderful light tiles. And the fireplace not only pleases the eye every day, but also gives you the chance for a real fire, which creates a wonderful atmosphere in the evenings. And what's more, the fireplace also heats the interior. For example, in winter or during long autumn evenings. Although you don't have to light it to heat the house, besides, here we have underfloor heating. 2 sofas are a furniture arrangement that gives you more design options than a single corner sofa. And on the other hand, it provides the same comfort. These sofas have removable covers, which not only makes them easy to wash, but we can also replace them when they get damaged. Or when we feel like having a new look in the living room. This way we extend the life of the furniture. And I can also show you what this living room looked like in previous arrangements. Pay attention to the beautiful window decoration. The curtains are tied up here. There's a specially installed hook. Meanwhile, the sheer curtains flow beautifully. This is thanks to the fact that 3 sets of 2 sheer curtains each were hung on one window. And when we have a lot of fabric, we can shape it beautifully. This lamp originally had a different lampshade. However, it didn't match this interior. That's why this one was ordered from a workshop specializing in making lampshades. On this side of the living room, there's a large wooden sideboard. It holds a collection of porcelain and glass. As you can see, some of the beautiful dishes have been displayed here. And next to it is a gallery of old family photographs. Before we go upstairs, I'd like to draw your attention to the stairs, which are in 2 colors. I love this combination because it makes the stairs look more spacious, not too light or too dark. And usually you can choose a color combination that makes it easier to keep them clean. That's why if you have old stairs and you're thinking about repainting them, consider whether you might just paint certain parts for now, because you can always paint more later. And it's definitely easier to add more paint than to strip the wood back again. Here, the railing goes at an angle precisely because of the addition of this piece of flooring, which I mentioned to you earlier. Upstairs, there are 3 rooms, a study, a bedroom, and our daughter's room. And on this side, there's the second bathroom. In several places around the house, there are Verity lamps hanging here as well. And only after installation did we realize that the protruding lampshade interferes with the entrance to the attic. That's why now, when there's sometimes a need to look into the attic, the lamp is simply installed for a moment. In the bedroom, there's a large wardrobe and, of course, a bed with a beautiful handmade bedspread. At the foot of the bed, there's an upholstered bench. It's a piece of furniture that looks unassuming, but it's very useful in everyday life. You can put decorative pillows or throws on it. When we're getting dressed, we can prepare our clothes, sit down, and it doesn't sink in like some mattresses sometimes do. So there are really quite a few uses for it, so if we have the space, it's definitely worth considering. And you can also find such furniture online under the name bedroom bench. Although there are curtains in the bedroom, blinds were also installed. They are rubberized, so they darken the room very well. On this side of the bedroom, there is a large dresser and a vanity that has been placed at an angle. Thanks to that, it's not pushed into the corner, and it's easier to access. But that's not the only reason. Such arrangements can make the space feel more pleasant sometimes, just like here. The daughter's room has served different functions over time, because the daughter moved out and started her own family. And now there are her daughter's toys here, as well as an extra crib. At the beginning of the video, I said that there are mosquito nets installed in the house. And of course, I wasn't lying. In the case of these skylight windows, the mosquito nets aren't on the outside, but right here. The 3rd room upstairs was originally a guest room. However, the pandemic made it necessary to create a space for remote work. This lamp wasn't so decorative at first. The lady of the house transformed it by gluing a ribbon with beads onto it using hot glue. The bathroom is in the same style as the whole house, and the ceramics were also chosen in a retro style. Look, The sink has a pedestal, and even the toilet isn't just an ordinary semicircular one. It has decorations and an original flush tank. These are seashells brought back from travels, which the lady of the house arranged into this beautiful decoration and framed. This way, they can please the eyes every day, instead of just lying somewhere in a cabinet. There's a checkerboard pattern on the floor, while on the wall there are square tiles laid evenly up to a certain height. And here, separated by decorative moldings, they're arranged diagonally, creating an original pattern. Very nice. The finish looks really good. And I want to draw your attention to the possibilities of these ordinary square tiles. They are available in different colors, and you can arrange them not only at different angles, but also by mixing colors and creating all kinds of patterns, a bit like pixel art. So if you have a bit of courage to go wild with a pattern in your bathroom or kitchen, and you find a patient tiler who sticks to the project, you can definitely create something wow. That's all for this episode, so now I'm sending you to our other videos. There are over 300 interior design materials on our channel, so if you're looking for inspiration, you're in the right place. And be sure to check out our store at wnetrzazewnetrzaofficial, where you'll find interior design books with various tips that might also be useful for you. And now I'm waiting for your comments and thumbs up. I hope you're already subscribed to the channel. I also encourage you to support us, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.